Hello, Women of Hope. The program is about to start, so now is the time to grab your plate, grab your glass, and get comfortable. I'm Tim Clark. I'm proud to serve as the CEO and president of Treehouse. Today, I'm glad to be your warm-up act. In just a minute, I'm going to step aside, and then we have the treat of hearing from some amazing women of hope. And that's what today is all about: women, community, and hope. This event is a part of a tradition that stretches back 17 years. I applaud the Women of Hope Committee and all of you who have made this such a vibrant Twin Cities tradition for so long. Obviously, this is a different year in so many ways, but the vision for Women of Hope remains the same: to build community, to gather as a community, and to pursue a mission that matters to every community: to end hopelessness among teens. I'm going to say that again: to end hopelessness among teens. That is such a big mission. It needs communities to go after it together. It's vital that all of us are all in for all teens to see, feel, and act on hope. Which brings us to today. As you get settled, I'll leave you with one encouragement. I encourage you to lean in to the community component of today. Whether you're meeting in person or virtually, whether you know the women in your breakout group or not, you're not doing this alone. You're part of something beyond yourself. We hope you feel that today, because that's also how we want our teens to feel every day. They're not alone. We're on a mission to end hopelessness together. It's almost time for the program to kick off, which means I need to take my seat next to a major woman of hope in my life, my wife, Tara. But as I step aside, I want to thank you for leaning in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your generosity as we seek to raise $400,000 today so that more teens know how capable and worthwhile they really are. Thank you for loving teens in your community, and thank you for being a woman of hope. Now let's get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Women of Hope Home Edition. I'm Julie Nelson, KARE 11 news anchor and proud board member of Treehouse for nearly 10 years. I've had the opportunity to host Women of Hope for many years now, and I so love being able to look out on a packed ballroom and see all of you looking so fabulous and just enjoying each other's company and enjoying, of course, some sort of greens with a chicken breast on top. There's a lot of history involved in Women of Hope, and I am just as excited about gathering in a new way this year. And I am excited about it every year. I'm just as excited about it this year, because Women of Hope has never been about being an event. It's about a community of women coming together to support teens in our communities. And supporting teens is what Treehouse is all about. The Treehouse staff and volunteers are so amazing. Truly, their passion and dedication, it just blows me over every time I'm with them. So now I would like to take the opportunity to introduce one of them to you right now, the fabulous Michelle Livingston. Hi, Michelle.
Well, thank you, Julie. That's quite the introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Livingston. I am the area director of the Edina Treehouse. I've been a part of Treehouse for over 10 years now because I am passionate about the work that we do. During this time, I have seen God transform the lives of hundreds of teens as they learn to put their hope and trust in Him. And hope is what we're about every day, all day, because Treehouse is on a mission to end hopelessness among teens. A core way that we do that is through relationships. Through mentorship and grace-based programs, we introduce teens to a loving God, helping them build resiliency and establish positive coping skills. We think for teens to have hope, they have to believe there's hope. As a Treehouse mentor, that starts with me personally, being rooted in the living hope of Jesus Christ, so that when I talk about hope with my teens, I can do so authentically because I personally have experienced hope for myself. And hope is something that we can share with others. One of the things we want to do today is highlight Treehouse's emphasis on the power of hearing and speaking words of hope, no matter what a teen is facing.
And we all know teens are facing a lot right now. We're going to get to the specifics of COVID in a minute, but even before we ever heard the word COVID, hopelessness was emerging as a defining factor for this generation. Hopelessness holds back both teens and communities. Teens are a vital part of our communities because, of course, when they hurt, our communities hurt. I have so much confidence in Treehouse's work to lead the charge to end hopelessness among teens. And I say that as a mom who knows how much teens need voices of support and mentorship, speaking words of hope into their lives. I have seen firsthand over the years how incredibly effective Treehouse is at doing that. And I trust Treehouse because they've been doing it for 40 years. There are thousands of teens who have experienced hope and life transformation because of Treehouse's presence. There are 40 years of stories and data that show Treehouse's approach works. Over those 40 years, they've certainly encountered a lot of challenges, but COVID is a whole new challenge. So Michelle, I can't imagine how hard it is to reach teenagers during this time when you can't physically hug them, you can't physically gather with them.
Yes.
Tell us how Treehouse is doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a difficult season. It's been a season of adaptation, but it's also been a season of innovation. Much of the work we do involves relationship building with teens, as you had mentioned, and it's really hard to not be able to do that in person. And prior to COVID, we did that through programming on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. We did that through meeting for coffee, going on trips, driving long hours in the vans. But in COVID, relationship building has had to take a different approach. We quickly adapted to offer our programs and mentoring sessions virtually. This allowed us to maintain close relationships with most of our teens during the first few weeks and months of social isolation. Once physical interactions slowly began to come back, we were determined to offer safe, in-person options for teens to get together. So we started hosting support groups outside of our students' apartment complexes. We started doing mentoring sessions on park benches. We did outside activities like kayaking and hiking and water balloon fights. And now that the temperature is getting a little cooler, we're trying new activities too. Through all of this, our commitment has been to show teens that Treehouse isn't going anywhere. And that message is exactly what they need to hear. Unfortunately, hopelessness has grown nationwide during COVID. According to the CDC, 11% of adults considered suicide in the month of June, but for teens, that number was 25%. And among teens of color, it's even higher. In the midst of suicidal ideation and other forms of hopelessness, how do we extend hope? We keep showing up. We keep reminding them that God loves them, and we continue to tell them the Treehouse truths. You are lovable, you are capable, and you are worthwhile. We tell them this over and over until they finally start to believe it. And there's no greater reward than watching a teen begin to believe these truths about themselves and to start to walk it out in their daily lives and in the choices that they make. There is so much power in our words. And what I personally love about Treehouse is that we have the opportunity to speak truth and hope to teens and remind them of how God sees them.
Thank you, Michelle. It actually makes me choke up a little bit because they need Treehouse so badly. So I'm so thankful for you, and I'm so thankful for all of you being here with us in this fight. Because speaking words of hope is powerful. Doing it as a community can have such a profound impact on those around us. So we are here today as a community, not only to raise our voices with hope, but also to raise money to end hopelessness among teens. We have a goal of raising $400,000 today. We know it is a big goal, but that's why we're here together. That is the power of hope. Your financial support at this moment for Treehouse means staff and volunteers can continue executing creative and innovative methods of coming alongside teens in this very difficult season. There are two ways to give. You can text Treehouse, WOH, to 71777, or go to treehousehope.org/WOH. Thank you for your generosity. You're going to hear more today about the impact of your gifts, and we can't wait for you to hear directly from one of our Treehouse teens later on. Right now, I am incredibly honored to introduce our special guest speaker, and I'm just so excited for you to hear from her. Because when I think of people who speak words of hope and who work tirelessly to help kids in our community, I think of my friend, Mari Melander Friesleben. I met Mari when her leadership at Lucy Laney Elementary in North Minneapolis was noticed and picked up by the network where I work, Care 11. Mari was, in fact, so inspiring, we created a documentary that featured her called Love Them First. Mari is truly a woman of hope, and a woman of hope who speaks words of hope to her students. We have a short clip from that documentary that shows Mari greeting students one morning and how she goes about instilling a sense of value in her students.
Welcome back. Students and staff, we are so happy and excited to have you back. I hope that you enjoyed the energy and the bus lane this morning. Remember, have a wonderful day here at Lucy Craft Laney at Cleveland Park Community School, where all of our staff and students are hands down by far the brightest, the most intelligent, and definitely the best looking in all of North Minneapolis. You are worth the cost.
So that is who we have the privilege of hearing from today. Mari is now proudly serving as the principal of North High in North Minneapolis. She is a lifelong educator who is dedicated to creating school environments where students know they are loved, they are valued, and they are pushed to achieve their potential inside and outside school walls. I know you will love Mari.
Good afternoon, women of hope, men of hope, youth of hope. I know that this event this afternoon is very much catered to the women in this circle, but I also know that the men and the youth that are out there that may be participating as well. Thank you for your commitment to hope. Thank you for your commitment to hopefulness, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to you about my perspective of hope. My name is Mari Chantel Melander Friesleben. You may know me as the principal that was featured in the documentary Love Them First. I was at Lucy Craft Laney Community School, which is an elementary school on the north side of Minneapolis, just off of Penn and Lowry, and a photojournalist actually, and a reporter spent a year with me and my staff and my students and my community in my building and produced an absolutely beautiful documentary out of it. One of the members of Care 11, Julie Nelson, is very familiar with Treehouse, and she was a pest to getting me up to speed on Treehouse and the work of Treehouse and potentially being a part of this day and this event. I can tell you that after Love Them First was released, and I was so honored and privileged to be a part of it, I was also a little bit overwhelmed by the response, coast to coast, and even outside of our own country. I was hearing from people who the documentary had impacted them in different ways, and though I felt blessed to be a vessel, I was a little bit intimidated by the asks. And so I kind of retreated a little bit into my work, and I declined the invitations and the offers that came my way. But the reason why I couldn't decline this one is because when I got the note from Julie, there was one sentence that stuck out to me the most, and it said that Treehouse is making a commitment to end hopelessness in youth. And after I read that, I felt like there was no way that I could say that I didn't want to be a part of this event today and the opportunity to speak to that. And so here's my message to you. So for those of you that are making a commitment to this work, that are choosing to step in and lean in to ending hopelessness amongst youth, I have 3 suggestions for you. And these have been learned the hard and the easy way by myself and by the people that I am privileged to do the work I do my work with every day. So one is make sure that you are full of hope. That is easier said than done, but is an important step in this journey. You have to identify the aspects of hopefulness and hopelessness in you. You have to make sure that you are grounded and rooted in hope. And on those occasions when you may not be, you need to ask to be I very frequently can be heard saying, I believe, help my unbelief. Because even me, someone that leads with hope every day, finds myself in days or even seasons of hopelessness. Right now, I look around and I can quickly get tempted into a spot of hopelessness with what is happening and emerging all around me in my neighborhood, in my city, in my state, and in my country. But if I go into a place of hopelessness, I will not be able to end hopelessness amongst those around me. So I have to be in a place of hopefulness. So I encourage you, number one, ground yourself and root yourself in hope. Number two, identify what steals your hope. Identify the challenges and the barriers that sometimes take your hope. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. We can overanalyze, overthink, and before we know it, we are no longer in a place of hopefulness. We are no longer in a place of faithfulness, but we are in a place of analysis that can steal our hope. Something that has stuck out to me recently, and I know that I can speak to you all from this place of faith, is do you remember in the New Testament when the disciples ask Jesus about a young man who's blind? And they say, whose fault is it that he's blind? Is it his fault or is it the fault of his parents? And Jesus' answer is it's neither. It's for the glory of God. And so what I want to encourage you to do is make sure that your own analysis, your own temptation to be critical is not robbing you of an opportunity to be hopeful. Because how often do we look at someone around us, especially youth, and do we ask those two questions, whether we want to admit it or not? How often are we just like those disciples that may look at a youth who is in a spot of hopelessness and ask ourselves, whose fault is that? Did they do something wrong or did their parents do something wrong? And what if the answer is just like Jesus's and that it's neither, but it's for the glory of God? And what if you are the vessel to bring that glory? What if you have the opportunity to usher in the glory of God in that youth's time? And number three, speak hope. Speak hopefulness. Everywhere you go, everything you do, when you are at the gas station, when you are at the grocery store, when you are in the backyard for a fire pit with friends and neighbors and family, when you are on social media, speak hope. Let your words be edifying to God. Let your words be words that unify and do not divide. Breathe, bring, and speak hope in everything you do, because youth and children are very instinctive. And if you decide to turn it on only when you're with them, but it's not a regular part of your lifestyle, they will know it. And last but not least, in the idea of speaking hope, speak it to them. Now remember, you have to believe it yourself. You have to be hopeful. Number two, remember, you have to fight against the temptations to not be hopeful. But number three, you have to speak it. You have to speak it so much that you live it, and then you have to speak it to them. And when they speak hopelessness in and around your space, when they say those dark, shadowy things that come into their minds that are their own temptations to slip into those bad spots, speak it right out of them. You just speak it right out of them. You just tell them, you are full of light. You are full of love. You are full of life. I believe in you. I will walk this walk with you. I will be with you every step of the way. Do not let them sit in those hopeless spaces with those hopeless words coming out around them. Give them a minute to say what they need to say, but then you counter it right away with hopefulness. I know you can do it. Everything that I've heard about you all says you can do it. A lot of us are out here doing it already. You are probably out here doing it already, and it's my honor to encourage you to continue doing it and continue along the way. Thank you.
Isn't she incredible? We just want to thank you so much, Mari, for sharing your words, your insight, and your passion with us. Isn't it amazing how just one person can have such a profound impact on so many? And Mari's story also makes me reflect on how I use words in my own life and the opportunity words have to bring light to dark situations. That's why it inspires me that at Treehouse, teens not only have one caring adult in their lives, they have a whole community of adults and peers alongside them. And there is no better place that this is lived out than in support groups. Let's hear again from Michelle, who leads support group.
Support groups at Treehouse are something that's meaningful to both teens and the adults who facilitate them. It's a time for teens to express themselves, to know they're not alone in how they're feeling, and to receive support from others. Support group may be the only time that week when a teen feels heard and can give voice to how they're feeling. Each teen goes around the circle, rates their week, and names 3 to 5 emotions they've been feeling. If they want to share more details about how they're feeling, then each teen gets an opportunity to do just that. We call this taking time. When teens take time, it allows them to share their pain instead of stuffing it. Because if they never give voice to that pain, it actually furthers hopelessness. Hope grows when a teen shares that they're struggling with something and they're met with other teens who understand what they're going through and offer tangible support. And it's not just a one-way street. I see it all the time that when another teen gives encouragement, that teen then feels more empowered and hopeful themselves. That is the power of hope. Like I said earlier, it's rooted in the Treehouse Truths, which our teens say at the beginning of every support group. I am lovable, capable, and worthwhile. I am loved without strings and never alone, and I have a future. Over time, as teens have their negative thoughts met with biblically rooted truths of their identity, hope starts to form. Reminding teens of their value has become even more important the last few months. What we have been hearing from our teens, especially our teens of color, is that they are receiving so many messages that the world just doesn't care about them. There's this gap between what the world says they are and who God says they are. And they're utilizing support group as a way to express these feelings of hopelessness from living in that tension. It's in these tender moments that we get to remind them of who they are and help them start to believe those truths about themselves.
I always love hearing more about Treehouse support groups, and what stands out to me in this description is how life-giving it is for everyone involved. It's not just adults pouring into teens, it's the teens pouring into each other, and there is this cycle of encouragement that multiplies. It's a reminder to me and to all of us as a community of women that we have the opportunity to do this in our everyday lives with our friends, our parents, our children, our grandchildren, our neighbors. And I'm excited for us to get a little taste of that as we transition to the next part of our program, breakout sessions. We have allotted 20 minutes for this portion. And I know some of you hear that and you think, 20 minutes? It's not enough time, that's really short. If there are 10 women in a group, we'll only have 2 minutes each. And I know some of you are thinking, 20 minutes? That's a long time. I don't have to say anything. So here's my response. Both answers are right. In other words, all you have to do is be exactly who you are. If you only want to listen, great. And if you have things to share, great. But the reason we're doing this is because community is the heartbeat of Women of Hope. This event has never been women just sitting in an auditorium. This event has always been about women, about all of us sitting around tables together. And I know for sure there are some amazing women attending this event today. And if you don't know the people in your group, well, I'm excited for new connections to happen for you. In 20 minutes sharp, you will be automatically returned to this main stage, and we'll hear from today's featured teen speaker right away, so don't be late. This teen, Jackie, has an amazing story to share about the power of hope that has been spoken into her life, and you don't want to miss it. Okay, on to the breakouts. You'll now be automatically put into a private Zoom room with your assigned group. In-home guests, stay right where you are, and the discussion questions will pop up right here on the screen. On a practical note, if you face any technical difficulties getting back into the program, you can always continue watching on Facebook Live. As we transition, here are a few of the Women of Hope showing us what it can look like to be a community speaking hope.
God loves you. You're a gift to so many, including me.
You are beautiful, just the way you are.
You are strong.
You are strong.
I'm so glad we're friends.
Don't quit. Maybe you can't see it right now, but I'm full of hope for what's ahead. You are brave.
You are brave.
You're brave.
Your talents and skills make this world better.
You are God's beloved daughter. You're resilient. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I know God is proud of you.
You are doing a good job as a mom.
I know you're going through a hard time, but I'm here for you. I love you.
I believe in you.
You can do it.
Your story matters.
You're lovable.
You are capable.
And you are worthwhile.
Hello, Women of Hope. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your time talking in your breakout groups. Okay, let me just say the thing that you may already be thinking. Yes, you did come back to the right event, even though, yes, you are looking at a guy's face right now. This is the Women of Hope event, and you are all Women of Hope. My name is Andy Swanda. I serve as the Vice President of Development at Treehouse. For the last several years, I've been lucky enough to be a part of this gathering, and I'm thrilled to do so again, especially as I team up with this Woman of Hope who's right next to me.
Hi, Andy. Thanks for that. I'm glad to team up with you, too. And hi, everyone else. My name is Renee Keene-Natsky. I work as an area director for the Treehouse site in New Hope, Minnesota. How's it going today, Andy?
There's a lot of pressure because the event has been great. So now we got to land. Here
yeah,
we go.
no pressure, no pressure. At Treehouse, I have the joy of getting to know, love, and serve the amazing teens in the community. And I do mean amazing. These teens are full of potential. But all too often at Treehouse, the teens we mentor don't realize how amazing they are. As a mentor and as someone who truly believes that every teen is lovable, capable, and worthwhile, I get the privilege of walking alongside these teens in their journeys on the path toward hope.
I'm so grateful for you, Renee. And it's heartbreaking when teens don't believe what's true about themselves, when they look at themselves or their circumstances and feel hopeless. I know it can be due to really painful events they've experienced, or sometimes it's due to an unstable adult or the absence of adults in their life. Obviously, every single teen story in every situation is different. But that's why I'm so glad that Renee and all the Treehouse mentors are there to be people who are rooted in hope themselves, who keep showing up and are sharing the power of hope with teens. As we often say at Treehouse, no teen walks alone.
I really do love and believe in these teens. One of those, for me, is a 16-year-old girl named Jackie. In just a minute, you're going to get to hear from Jackie directly. Let me tell you a little bit about her first. I met Jackie when she started coming to Treehouse about 3 years ago. Jackie had been through a lot in her life, and at the point I met her, she wasn't really interested in staying in high school. Shortly after we met, she dropped out. But here's the thing, Jackie is probably the most intelligent person I've met. This young woman is incredibly smart, very articulate, reads and thinks at a college level. So why did she drop out of school? Partly because she didn't know how capable she is. She didn't see herself that way. But I've had a front row seat to seeing Jackie's outlook change over the past few years. Today, Jackie is back in high school and on track to graduate with a vision for her future. Last week, she and I met in the New Hope Treehouse, the place where we've met countless times for support groups and mentoring sessions. Jackie and I spoke for a few minutes about how she thinks about her journey and about her future. Let's play that for you now. When did you start coming to Treehouse, and why did you keep coming back after that first time?
So I started coming to Treehouse in March of 2018 when my friend had recommended it to me. She had been talking about it. She had been going for about 2 years at the time.
Yeah.
And she had really liked it, you know? I mean, she was talking about it and she told me, hey, I think you'll like it too. And I'm like, okay. So I went, and it was really just the moment I came in just felt very welcoming. It felt like a community, really. And I think that is just so important. I noticed how the adults were and how comprehensive they are with teens. As I kept coming, it started getting better and better, really. There was so much that I saw that I've never seen in any other program. I mean, most programs are not like Treehouse at all. Treehouse, what they do is they don't talk at their teens. They know how to relate, and they listen, and they take that person's perspective, and they really, you know, they believe it's important, and they show that to the person, because a lot of people don't get that at school or at home, and it's just really important that that's there for them.
So we talk all the time about being lovable, capable, worthwhile. Can you tell me what that means to you?
For me, the Treehouse truths are really important. They really, everything that Treehouse does, everything your mentor does with you, everything they guide you in, everything they help you with, they do it with that in mind. That is, the lovable, the capable, and the worthwhile are always behind it. And I think that really, it's a mental thing, really. It stays with you in your mind, and it really helps with self-esteem. And I think it's definitely a motivator, because I think low self-esteem is really an issue for a lot of people, and just kind of like, oh, can I do this? Am I a good person? And I think that message is something that is underrated in our world, and something that really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I know adults who have that sticker, the lovable, capable, worthwhile, on their work computers for that reason.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. Okay, so talk a little bit about your future, because I know a bunch of stuff has changed in the last few months for you. So can you tell me about that and what you're planning on right now, how you're working with school?
So when I started Treehouse, I did not know what my path would be like.
Sure.
I just didn't really have that great of an idea of how it was gonna go. But as I kept coming to Treehouse, you know, we would talk to each other, kind of figure things out as it went.
Yeah.
And a little while ago, a month or two ago, we had met with one of our volunteers, and she told us about this program. And right away, you know, you helped me get checked into it. You talked to my grandma, who's like my main person.
Yeah.
And you helped lay the foundation for that, and, you know, really get me into that. And now I'm enrolled, and, you know, I can graduate within the next year and a half, 2 years.
That's awesome.
And now with that, you know, I kind of know, like, what I need to do.
Yeah.
What I need, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know, I want to go into forensics, and then I want to use that as a bridge to get into writing and English composition, and I knew I couldn't do that without being able to make a living, and Treehouse has made that possible for me. And I think Treehouse is really the best place I can be.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed listening in on that conversation with Jackie, and you can see what I mean about her being very intelligent and articulate.
Yes, that was so fun to listen to. And it was fun to see the two of you together, Renee. Thanks for the ways you're committed to being a mentor to Jackie.
I definitely learned so much from her. Jackie is definitely a thinker. She processes intellectually. I remember that first night she came to Treehouse, she asked all the hard questions. Frankly, I think I saw myself in Jackie because I myself was a teenager who liked to challenge and question people.
That's awesome, Renee. I love that you could celebrate that about Jackie right away.
It's been fun to try and meet Jackie in the midst of her inquiring mind. For instance, as a way to connect, I suggested we read a book together, a theology book, no less. And though the subject matter was totally new to Jackie, I had to work hard to keep up with her questions and ideas. I've also sought to give Jackie opportunities to stretch her leadership muscles and lead groups or lessons for others. I've been blown away by her natural ability to lead. And yet, don't forget this part, Jackie was the girl who also dropped out of high school and who didn't have a plan for her future. And as you heard, that's no longer the case, which is awesome. I think she's going to keep blowing us all away. I truly believe Jackie can and will go very, very far in her life.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm so struck by the way Renee is so intentional in how she invests in Jackie, identifying a specific book or approach that will be meaningful to her. Yet Jackie is just one of the many teens she mentors, and Renee is just one of many mentors serving teens at 60-plus Treehouse sites nationwide. This year, Treehouse has served 3,500 teens and still growing. I want more Renees out there rising to the challenge. So Women of Hope, today we can help make that happen. We are asking for your support toward a financial goal of $400,000. You can give by going to treehousehope.org/WOH or by texting Treehouse WOH to 71777. Yes, I know at past Women of Hope events, you fill out a card at your table, but this year we are asking you to give in real time, and we can reach this goal together. Your gift right now is something that will help us get closer to that $400,000 goal. And that goal advances our mission and ultimate goal to end hopelessness among teens. So let's break that down, both how you can help and what you can enable. We have many different donation levels for you to express your generosity today. A gift of $300 allows 10 different teens to be mentored this week. Think of a Renee and Jackie out there times 10 and multiply that by sites nationwide. That one-to-one depth of relationship is what your gift can make possible for more teens. A gift of $500 will provide 2 months of technology and tech support for a site staff team to meet teens virtually. During COVID, we all know how essential technology is. It is literally a lifeline to keep staff and teens connected, especially when protocols limit the number of people who can gather at one time. A donation of $750 fills the gas tanks of 12 Treehouse vans. That's one per directly operated site to transport teens to weekly small groups for support. Our teens rely on these rides practically, and during COVID, we have to limit the number of teens in a van at one time, which means we need to make more trips, give more rides, so that we can serve every teen. Next, a donation of $1,000 will provide 1 semester of personal coaching through our Treehouse Next program. This means helping teens make a plan for what comes after high school and to prepare for it. A gift of $2,000 supports one Treehouse-wide virtual event for teens. This is often a creative front door for new teens to get to know Treehouse, as well as a way to facilitate connection between teens from Treehouse sites across the country. Your gift at any level is meaningful to us. To give, just text Treehouse WOH to 71777. If you would like to discuss giving through other means, such as stock or real estate, please send an email to donate@treehouse.org, and I will personally follow up with you.
I just want to say, as a mentor who works with these teens every day, your generosity is really meaningful to me. I switched career paths in my late 20s, specifically to work with teens like the ones I meet every day at Treehouse. This isn't just an organization or just a job, it is a movement of hope. And frankly, switching career paths is nothing compared to the lengths I would go for these amazing teens to make sure they experience hope and the future that they are capable of. Every day, I see how incredible each one of our teens are. They have so many gifts, and maybe no one has ever told them that before. They have been through so much, and they have so much to offer. Thank you for giving to them. Thank you for believing in these teens. It may feel like you are just typing out a credit card number or writing a check, but I can picture right now the faces of each teen I'm going to meet with this week, this month, and beyond. Each teen, each story, each on the path to hope. So thank you for investing in them.
I know Renee reflects the hearts of the hundreds of mentors who believe so passionately in the 3,500 teens Treehouse has served this year. Thank you for giving. Please continue to do so. Text Treehouse WOH to 71777 or go to treehousehope.org/WOH. I also want to give a big thank you to our presenting sponsors. To our friends at Riverbridge and Schuler Shoes, thank you so much. Your continued generosity blows us away, and we are so grateful for your support. Thank you for leading the way. And that includes sticking with us, even as this event had to be rescheduled and reimagined a few times due to COVID. Speaking of COVID, Renee, I wonder if you could speak about the season we're in right now.
Of course. When you're working with these teens, there are always uncertainties you can't predict. But right now, we're needing to adjust daily to meet the needs of our teens. Our teens go to lots of different schools, and they and we are just getting started in navigating the twists and turns that the school year is bringing due to COVID. The realities vary from community to community and household to household. We are committed to staying present, staying creative, and staying flexible in our programming. Both are virtual and hybrid environments. The weather is also starting to get colder across many of our 60-plus sites. Treehouse staff and volunteers are going to have to reconfigure our spaces and programs to enable the deep, consistent community we create with our teens, while also maintaining appropriate safety measures, both COVID and weather-related. So, amidst all this change, it means a lot to know that there are donors supporting us as we keep adapting. Thank you. And though today we are asking for financial support, we also always need more volunteers. If you have the ability to share your time and talent with Treehouse on a more consistent basis beyond today, please check out the volunteer opportunities we have at various sites. To learn more, go to treehousehope.org/volunteer and register for a volunteer information session. We would love to have you and join the mission and help us keep multiplying the power of hope.
Thank you to everyone who already volunteers, to everyone who is praying for us and praying for these teens. And thank you to everyone who donated generously today. Together, we are on a mission to end hopelessness among teens. I never cease to be amazed by how this community, the Women of Hope community, rallies together in that mission.
Days like today mean so much to me as an area director because I can feel the support that each of you is sharing for Treehouse and our teens. If we believe teens are a vital part of our communities, then we need to be there for them when they're experiencing hopelessness. Because our communities need teens, and our teens need the communities. When you donate to Treehouse, you help to activate that connection.
Once again, to donate, text Treehouse WOH to 71777. We're winding down our time together, so please give now. And let me extend a few other important thank yous. To our guest speaker, Mari Melander-Friesleben, thank you for joining us today. Your message inspires us all, and we're so grateful to have you as a partner in sharing hope with young people in our community. Thank you to Jackie, our brave teen, and also to you, Renee. I've loved getting to do this with you. Thank you to Julie Nelson, who continues to inspire us with her commitment to the Treehouse mission. And last but not least, a big special thank you to all you hostesses out there. Whether you hosted virtually or opened up your home, thank you for getting people together. However you joined us today, I am so glad you did. We hope this time together sparked good conversations and that you're inspired to share the power of hope in your community. Together, we're going to end hopelessness among teens. We'd like to wrap up our afternoon together with our giveaway drawing. And after the drawing, we will have a grand reveal of our fundraising total. So now's the time to make your final donations by texting Treehouse WOH to 71777 or by going to treehousehope.org/WOH. Now, just by being registered to come today, you each were entered into a drawing for a gift basket, and 5 of you will be leaving here the proud winners of one. If your name is drawn, someone from the Women of Hope Committee will be personally getting your prize to your home next week. If you're from out of state, we will make sure to mail it to you. This is an exciting part. We are ramping down, but this is a fun time because now, Renee, I mean, it is a little bit like Christmas or birthday. We get to give some really exciting prizes away. But I just do want to say thank you. We recognize doing these events live, a lot of you, the overwhelming response, we had difficulty getting people in the right rooms. That's the overwhelming response from this community. That's you engaging with us and fighting for our teens. We can't say thank you enough to have that kind of a response from people that love Treehouse and love Treehouse teens. So thank you for your patience and being with us all the way through the duration of the program. All right, Renee.
All right,
what do you
do
say?
this.
Is it go time?
Let's give some presents.
All right. So we have 5 raffle prizes. They're all unbelievable. We are excited in advance for those of you who win. We love all of you, even if you did not win, because everybody is a winner at Treehouse. So our first prize, Renee, why don't you get that? Our first prize is from our generous friends at Schuler Shoes. This gift basket has
all sorts of stuff. It's got this beautiful purse in there. It's got, looks like a wallet. It has a water bottle, and it has a $200 gift card to Schuler Shoes.
So Schuler, we are grateful. Thank you. All of your names out there in homes and virtual are here in the bucket. And the first winner of Schuler Shoes is Linda Powers. Congratulations. I would say come on down, but you can't. So stay where you are. We will make sure we get your prize to you. So Linda, we've got your gift, and we'll get that to you. So thank you very much.
Nice. Our second prize is a date night gift basket. Andy, can you explain a little bit about what's in that?
All right, this is exciting. It's literally a date in the basket. You don't have the date in the basket, but there's great items in here. There is a blanket, there are 2 bottles of wine, there are wine glasses, and a $150 gift certificate to Baccio. So thank you to all our friends who contributed and to Baccio. So who is the winner, Renee?
All right, we have Kathy Walter. Kathy Walter is the winner of this one.
Kathy, congratulations. We will get you your date night in a basket.
Next.
All right, our third prize, it's called the Sparkle and Shine gift basket. So Renee has it. Renee, what do we have in there?
So we have some beautiful pieces of jewelry from Kendra Scott. We have some, looks like face moisturizers, and this incredible gift card to Spalon Montage.
All right, and I can't win it?
Sorry, Andy.
I kind of want it.
Would you like
My
a
wife
gift card
is
to a
watching.
spa?
It would be
Actually,
nice if I did. All right, the winner of Sparkle and Shine is Lori Borgelt. Congratulations, Lori, wherever you are. We will get you the Sparkle and Shine gift basket. All right, who's up next?
Okay, so our fourth prize is a game night gift basket. And look at this, Andy. You're going to have to explain more about the Vikings because I think you're the expert.
Vikings all the way. So we're really hoping the winner of this is not a Packers or a Bears fan.
I don't know.
You're invited to the event because we still love you. I know you're a Packers fan. In here we have, there's hats, winter hats, ball caps. There are purple Yetis, a Vikings yoga mat, but then there is a signed football from Harrison Smith and a signed photo from Dalvin Cook. Both have certificates of authenticity. So if you're a Vikings fan, this is ideal for you. All right, Renee, who do we got? Who's the winner?
Sue Vareca.
Sue? Skol Vikings, my friend. All right, we will get that to you.
All right, final one.
All right, fifth prize is, this is amazing. Evergreen Jewelers, thank you for your partnership and support. This is a $1,000 gift certificate from our friends at Evergreen Jewelers.
Amazing.
So this is our last prize, our last raffle.
Go for it, Andy.
All right, last one. And it is Delana Brinkman. So Delana, congratulations. You don't even have to share this. You can keep that, that gift certificate all to yourself. Hey, we want to congratulate all of today's winners for the giveaway. Be on the lookout for your gift basket. We'll make sure to get that to you in the next week.
Thank you to everyone who helped make this happen today. Thank you for multiplying the power of hope.
We want to thank you for joining us in this mission to end hopelessness among teens. But please, don't just take my word for it. As you leave today, whether you're in home or whether you're online, we want to leave you with some of the faces of people in the Treehouse community. These are teens who want to say thank you for believing in them. From all of us on staff and volunteers in the Teens at Treehouse, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for sponsoring Treehouse.
Thank you for supporting Treehouse.
Thank you for your prayers and support.
Thank you for helping me stay connected to my Treehouse staff during quarantine.
Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting Treehouse.
Thank you everybody for your time, your support, and your prayers.